Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm your host Jacob with Spring Martial Arts. Today I want to go over a stretching routine with you. Now, regardless if you work in a sedentary job or if you're a highly athletic person or someone who does various sports such as martial arts, weightlifting, swimming, running, what have you, stretching is so important and it's almost neglected from time to time. And a lot of people can get seriously hurt because their muscles aren't stretched, their lactic acid builds up, a lot of soreness can occur. I mean, stretching overall is probably one of the healthiest things you can do. And today, again, I want to go over a stretching routine that I teach here with my students. And this is a deep stretch routine. It's done slow. I'm not going to hold necessarily every position as long as I normally would, but I'll explain the positions as we go. And I'd like you to try to follow along as best you can. Save the video, comment, subscribe, ask me questions, whatever questions or insights you have. I definitely would love to talk with you guys about it. And let me know your thoughts on the routine. And again, this is just something very simple. No bouncing stretches, no fast jumps or anything like that. Just something anybody can do at home or at the office. And you give yourself maybe 15, 20 minutes at a time. You can go longer if you want. So let's go ahead and get started. The first position we're going to work on is adductor stretch here, where my feet are separated with my toes slightly out. Now I can do this with my feet flat and push the knees out. That's perfectly fine. But on this one here, I'm actually going to open these toes here and here. If you see the angle, I'm going this direction just a little bit so I can get a good deep stretch. And I'm letting my arms rest here on my legs. And then when I'm ready to push, as my knees are bent, my back is straight, I'm going to push out on the inside of my thighs. Okay, the inside of my legs here so I can get the groin stretch. Okay, this is really important so you don't pull anything. Okay, from this position, I'm going to widen my feet a little bit. I'm going to keep one foot bent on this angle here, as we talked about, bending my knee, straightening out this leg, not locking the joints, but bending as low as I can here, keeping my feet flat, okay? And I get a nice inside leg stretch here. Second part of this, I'm going to lift up my toes on the front leg and my heel on the back leg where I'm sitting on my heel to get my calf stretch, hamstrings, start stretching at that foot. And then I'm going to take that, put it back down, turn the other direction into a lunging position where my palms are flat and I'm pushing that hip flexor down to the floor. Now you can do this a variety of different ways. This is real simple. I start from the bottom up, getting the legs, and then working my way back up to the feet. I want to go from my legs to the stomach, to the chest and arms, to the neck, to the head, everywhere. Okay, we're going to go the other direction now, same thing. Foot's pointed out slightly, knees bent, leg goes straight, pressing it down. I'm turning the toes up, back heel comes up, and then we're going to roll it the other direction for the lunging position. Okay. Coming back to center, this time both of my feet are going to be straight, legs are going to be straight but not locked, and then I'm going to lean straight down the center here. Now if I can, I want to try to grab my ankles on both feet and pull myself down. If I'm not able to do that, I just let my body naturally hang and I put my palms on the floor here. And then slowly let my arms bend here until I get comfortable. If I can reach, put my forearms on the ground, that's great. Okay, if I can grab behind the ankles, that's great. Okay. From here, the next position is sliding out into the splits only as far as you're able to do comfortably without hurting yourself. Okay, go as far as you're able to go, keep your feet flat, and I come on my forearms. Again, I still get the inside of the legs here. Okay. We hold the position for a second, walk myself backwards, I have a seat. Keeping my legs straight. I don't want them in too close. I want them far enough out where when I'm making this stretch, I feel a little tension, but it's not painful. Okay, if I need a little bit more tension, put one hand in front, one hand behind, pick myself up, I slide out just a little bit farther, get a good tight stretch. We're going to go left and right, and we're going to go two different ways. The first way is if you're not able to necessarily get the stretch, you're not necessarily as flexible, okay, you take your hand and slowly I'm going to lean my body sideways over the leg because I'm going to stretch this side of my body too, and start walking my hand to my ankle here as far as I'm able to go. If I can get past that point comfortably, what I want to try to do is take my palm and grab the ball of my foot. Okay, so this is a good stretch. It's already pulling behind my legs, calf, knee, foot. I'm going to take the other hand and I'm going to curve it all the way up, all the way around, until I can get to my own arm and my wrist, and I start walking my hand down. Then as I come up the other direction, same way I came. So I can get my obliques, my lats, and the bottom half of my leg, okay, the calf, hamstring, and my feet all at the same time. Again, I get to the ball of that foot, and I come over top, and I get a nice stretch. And then I hold it for a few seconds. You can hold these stretches for about 10, 15 seconds at a time, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, the second one, we're going to do this again now for a little bit more advanced. What I want to try to do is take my palm, I'm going to grab around my heel, and I want to try to put my forearm on the floor. So here and here. So my forearm is next to my shin. Same thing, I'm going to reach over. This time I'm going to try to grab my foot all the way. So I get a good deeper stretch. I sit up, again, coming out the same direction that I entered. Going the other direction, reach over, grabbing the foot, coming back, sitting up. And then we're going to go right back down the middle. Again, for beginners, I can put my palms on the floor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my palms to my fingertips. And I'm going to keep going as far as I'm able to. So if I can do that and get all the way out flat, that's good. Okay? If I can only go so far, let's say I'm only getting to here, and this is all I can do, that's fine. Hold the position. Okay? Hold it where you're getting a good stretch. Okay? So I need to get a little bit farther out here. Now what I want to do is from this position, let's say I get to this position and I want to go deeper without having to pull my hands forward, I can put my forearms on the floor. My back is straight. Now when I get all the way down, I've got two options with my feet. First one is let your feet turn naturally. So when I'm here, my feet can turn forward naturally. This is fine. Okay, the second option you have is keeping your feet up. So you get a little bit of joint rotation in here, joint mobility, if you're able to do that. Okay, your feet can stay up, chest to the ground. That's perfectly fine. Okay, after we do the splits, now we're going to do one leg at a time, pulling it in. So I'll use my right leg first. My foot's going to come in halfway, where it lines up directly with my groin and my spine. Okay, the other foot's going to come out sideways here, so I get a straight line with my feet, and this knee is pointed, so my hip is over here, my knee's over here. I want to start stretching the glutes, I want to start stretching the piriformis, and I want to stretch using my knee in this direction. Okay, so my goal on this is to try to take my chin and my head or my nose, touch it to the floor here, where it goes over this knee. Now I can support with my backhand, or I can lean completely over with my forearms. Again, whatever you're comfortably able to do. Okay? Once you get this stretch, keep your body low. Walk yourself to the middle part of your foot. Take the same side arm, right leg, right arm, and I can grab my foot here, and what I want to do is lean my chest to my ankle, or chest to my foot. So again, I get more of the hip, a little bit more on my knee, just a little stretch in here, until it's nice and tight, and I'll hold it. Okay, we sit up. Now from this opening, I pull my foot in the rest of the way, and then I want to go down over my extended leg, very similar to what we did with the splits. But I'm going to grab the foot, and I'm going to grab the foot on the opposite side, and I'm going to keep my body a little bit more square as I make this stretch down. Okay, sit up, we're going to switch positions. So the left foot comes in, right foot goes out sideways, and we're going to mirror the technique. So I come over the kneecap first, stay low, work myself to the middle part of my foot, sit up, pull the foot in the rest of the way, and we're going to extend over this leg. Okay? We're going to come into butterfly position next. Again, if you notice, like I said, I'm going from the legs up. Large muscles of the body are very, very hard to stretch, and they take a lot longer than the small muscles. So I want to get blood flowing. And again, all of these stretches, I'm going through them kind of quickly. Take your time. Go step by step, 15 seconds at a time, 10 seconds at a time, whatever you're able to do, okay, whatever your time slot allows. Okay? So butterfly position, feet are in, okay? Hands to my ankles, elbows to the inside of my legs again, and I'm going to push my knees down to the floor. Again, get a little bit more of a groin stretch in here, and I keep my back straight. I'm not hunched over. I keep my back straight, shoulders down, and I let my body naturally lean in. Okay? Second part of this would be grabbing around your feet here. or whether you grab your toes, however you position. I usually cup both of my feet together at the same time. My arms don't go to the inside of my body. I want to take my elbows and flare them out slightly to put them down to the floor here as I try to bring my chest all the way to my feet here, okay? Not as flexible as most, but you get the idea, okay? From this position up here, I extend my legs straight out in front of me. So now I've got more of a jackknife stretch position, or whatever you want to call it, from the ground, okay? Legs are bent. If I need to get a little bounce on my knees to help get some blood flowing again because it's a little stiff, that's fine. Okay, but again, what I'm going to try to do for beginners, put my hands here, start walking my hands down towards my ankles, and I get a good stretch, pulls the hamstrings, starts to stretch into the lower back a little bit. Don't force the stretch. Don't get to the point where you're doing this and your knees are bent, okay? Keep your legs straight, but not locked. And once you get to a position, we hold the position, okay? All I got to do is hold the position. Sometimes you can get all the way down, touch your chest, your legs. Great, go for it, okay? After this stretch, we're going to start working to our back and to our stomach and still a little bit on the legs. And I'm going to turn sideways for this so we can show you, okay? We're going to just rock back and forth. Now, I have options I can do with this. When I'm rolling back and forth, okay, very important, I keep my teeth closed, my tongue inside my mouth, and my chin is tucked into my chest, and I'm going to keep my back round so I can roll like a ball. Comfortably, you can put your arms underneath your legs, you can wrap them around the legs, or you can just hold on to your shins. This is fine. And then as I rock, again, I keep myself like a ball, and I'm just rocking back and forth, letting my spine just adjust naturally and getting the muscles to loosen up just a little bit for the back. Once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and lay flat. Now this part's going to be a little bit fun, okay, for some of you that do yoga. I'm going to take one leg and I'm going to cross it, just like I'm sitting in a chair. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over to that side and keep my foot on the floor. Now, I'll eventually pull this in a little bit, get it tighter. I want to reach around and grab behind my own knee. Okay, so I've hooked in with my hand. This knee is going to be pointing up to the ceiling, and then what I'm going to do from here, since I'm sideways, I want to stretch the hips, and I want to stretch my obliques and lower abs. So I'm going to take my arm, and I'm going to turn my body back the opposite direction, so I'm looking up towards the ceiling here, and I'm pushing. If you see, I'm taking my knee, I'm pushing it out to engage my hip a little bit to get some of the ligaments, tendons, and smaller muscles. Once you do this, I come around here, grab around that knee, and I'm going to pull it to the opposite shoulder here. So now I get more on the piriformis area here. From this position, I'm going to straighten out the bottom leg, grab my foot, and I'm going to straighten out the leg here. So again, I get more of a stretch. Now, getting back to my abs, again, I come back the other direction as best I'm able to. Okay. The next part here, I'm going to let the foot come around behind, and I'm going to grab the top part of my foot to stretch my quadriceps. When I stretch my quads, I'm not just pulling my heel to my butt cheek, okay, to my rear end. What I'm going to do is when I get to that position, this is not stretching. I'm going to tilt my pelvis forward while I'm in position. This arm is just supporting. So I tilt the pelvis forward and up to start engaging all of these muscles in the quads and stretch them nice and slow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat. I'm going to let this relax. And then we sit up. And so you can see on the other side, I'll stay on this side. I'm just going to do a quick repeat. So again, we start here. Foot comes across. I roll to the side. Hook behind the knee. Knee is up. Body stretches. Comes behind the knee. Pulls it to the opposite shoulder. Bottom leg straightens, top leg straightens with the foot, arm stretches, pull behind. Notice I grab the foot, heel to my rear end, engaging the hips, and then I relax. Okay, from this position, I'm going to roll over, and I'm going to start working my calf muscles, and I'm going to start working more of the abs, and I'm also going to work the front part of my shins. Okay, also a neglected part of the leg. Okay, so from this position, when I roll over, I can start right here, whether I'm on the tops of my feet or balls of my feet, however you're comfortable, hands under my shoulders, and I arch my back very slow to stretch my abdominals. And when I get to this point here, if you see I'm looking down, I don't want to do this. What I want to do is keep my shoulders pulled back, and I want to look up to the ceiling. So I get a good stretch of my abs. And from here, I'm going to rock back the other direction on the tops of my feet, flaring my knees a little bit, keep my hands flat, and I'm going to start doing a cat stretch here so I can stretch the upper part of my back in between my shoulder blades. Okay, then I can come back to the center. You can repeat that sequence however many times you need to get the front and in between the shoulder blades, upper part of your back to stretch out. Now, for your calf muscles and for your tendons and ligaments and the shins as well. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'll come at this angle here so you can see. Okay, right here I'm on a 45. Now I'm going to show you from the front, almost like a push-up position, where I'm going to start pushing my heels down, and I'll show you from the side as well. Okay, I'm going to arch my back, okay, like a downward-facing dog in yoga. I'm going to arch my back here, arch my butt up like a teepee, and I'm going to start pushing the calf muscle to the floor. Now, when I do this, I want to keep a pyramid shape, and I'm going to do this with 1 foot at a time. So as I'm here, come up. I'll do my left foot first. Okay, pull my pant leg up a little bit so you can see. I'm here. I push that heel to the floor, and I'm looking away. Okay, I can watch my foot, it's fine, but I'm just looking away because it's comfortable. I switch the feet, go to the right, I go back to the left, and I go back to the right. I do about 4 times. Okay? The next position is to stretch the front of the shins using the top of the feet. It's going to be very similar, except beginner versus advanced. Do this very slow so you don't hurt your ankles. Okay, as I'm coming up here, I take the top of my foot and I push it down. Okay, I'm supporting myself with my right leg as I stretch the left. Then I switch it. I can go back and forth. Now, somebody more advanced, you might be able to start right here, tops of your feet on both feet, and I pick myself up and I hold that position where I get a good stretch from the ankles and shins, and then I can relax it back down. Okay, so that'll be stretching the rest of the legs, your feet, all that. Now we're going to move up. So we got the abs, got a little bit of the back. We're going to move to the chest. We're going to move to the arms, and we're going to move to the neck. Okay, for the chest position, what I'm going to do is lay flat. And I'll take one arm. Let's take my right arm. I'll come off to the side here with my palm flat on the floor. Now I can turn it however I want, but for right now I just want it palm flat on the floor. I use my body, I turn my body and take my left foot, just let it come behind me a little bit. Now, to get the chest stretched, I'm going to take my other arm and I'm going to start leaning it backwards as far as I'm able to go, and I start feeling a stretch in my chest and the front deltoids of the shoulders. Okay, a little bit more advanced, you can take this position, grab your foot. Now I can turn or I can keep my body flat to get more of my abs and quadricep. Okay, this position here turns the other direction. Again, I can get strictly just the chest and shoulders, or I can come in grabbing that foot, get the chest and shoulders, and get the abs and the quadricep. And then I recover into position. And that'll be for your chest, and again, front part of the shoulder here. Okay, for your biceps, triceps, forearms, wrist, and neck. I'm going to do 2 different variations. The first one I'm going to show standing up. The second one I'm going to show from the ground as a modification if you're not able to stand, if you're not comfortable standing, or if you just feel like doing everything on the ground, that's fine too. So for my biceps, I take my arm and I keep it extended straight. I pull it across my body just a little bit. Now, when you straighten your arm, right now, you're stretching that bicep, okay? It's not tense or anything like that, it's just relaxed. I just pull it across, so to get a little bit of the ligaments here, a little bit of the ligaments of the elbow, I pull this across here as well, and I pull the shoulder, if you see it, I pull the shoulder back. Okay, it's almost like an elbow lock in martial arts. Okay? When I come this way here, I go the other direction. Okay? And again, I'll show you this from the ground as well. So your triceps, of course, I can come across here, hands come up, pull behind, and I'm going to touch the back of my shoulder. I can go to the other side. Okay, so that's biceps and triceps. Your forearms, I extend out, so I go from tricep, and I'm going to extend out here with my palm out, and I'm going to grab my fingers, not here, but right at the palm. I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to push forward and pull the hand back, so I can stretch all in here inside the forearm. Forgive the noise, please. We got trucks driving around outside. Okay? So I'm stretching the forearm right here. Okay? Coming the other direction, turn it over. My fingers are pointing down, and I'm going to put a little pressure above the knuckles here, above the back of the hand, and stretch the other side of my forearm. The next position, I'm going to keep my thumb down. I'm going to interlace my fingers. Okay? Do a little bit more joint locking. Keep the compression in and pull it to my chest. Then working the other direction, my hand turns out, interlaced around the thumb for a wrist lock variation, and again, very slowly just on a rotation. I want to loosen the joints. I want to make sure that they're flexible enough and I have dexterity, because I don't want to have to do this just a little bit and it hurt. I want to be able to have mobility of my joints. Okay? And then one more from this position, the palm comes in this way. So my palm is like I'm going to shake my hands. I'm going to turn my fingers towards my body, and then I'm going to push my shoulder back as my arm comes up slightly. So I get the shoulder, get the rest of the arms. And again, I can repeat, okay, pulling forearms here. So notice I'm not pulling from here, I'm pulling almost from my palm. Okay, turn it the other direction, right behind the knuckles here. Interlace the fingers, rotate it the other direction, palms come together, and stretch the bottom. Okay, now, again, you can also do this from the ground. I'm going to show you this from the ground. Okay, from the ground in position, this is assisted. Okay, we have gravity assisted. Okay, from this position, of course, I can stretch the bicep across. I can also stretch my deltoids. I forgot to do that standing up. Stretching the deltoids, the back of the arms across this way, back of the arms across this way. Triceps, where I can lay on it. Triceps here, where I can lay on it. Extending out the fingers, going the other direction. Interlace, wrap it the other way, palms together. Fingers, other direction, so you get both sides of the forearm. Interlace, rotate it the other direction, palms together. And that's done from the ground. And the last bit we have is neck rotation. Neck rotation, very slow. I let my body stay relaxed here. And I slowly rotate my neck, clockwise and counterclockwise. Don't go fast, because I don't want my head to fall off. I go nice and slow, and then I repeat it the other direction. And I can do this about 3, 4, 5, 10 times, whatever your equilibrium allows you to do. And that will conclude the stretching routine that I do for our students here at Spring Martial Arts. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take away what you can from this. Work with it. Again, if you have questions, comments, concerns, comment down below. Hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Thank you.